I don't know if you've been paying attention, but Whis really wants Vegeta to be a god of destruction pretty badly, and I have a couple of reasons why. This is, I think, more of a subtle pressing matter than I think on the surface is revealing. Let's get right into it. Make sure you guys subscribe here for weekly Dragon Ball deep discussion content as well as Dragon Ball Stoicism content. First of all, Whis sees the pride, right? He sees how fierce Vegeta's pride can be when used at the right times and the right moments. That is a perfect resolve fit for a destroyer, a god of destruction. First of all, Vegeta and Beerus, very similar, I think, in mindset, very similar in how they would go about getting things done. Hence why I thought, even during the Battle of Gods moment when they were sparring and Vegeta snapped, there was a level of respect from Beerus, obviously in that moment, obviously from everyone, but especially Beerus in that moment. He saw this Saiyan rise, and of course, we know how the rest of that situation still played out, but nonetheless, it shows that there is more than just common respect. Initially, may have been disrespect, obviously based off of how Beerus treated Vegeta's father, King Vegeta, but at the same time, Vegeta's not a fool. What I love about his character is he respects the hierarchy. He doesn't have to love the person, the thing, the whomever is in charge. He respects the law of order because that is just the lay of the land. That's the rule of the land for the time being. And I like that Beerus also respects that Vegeta is the Prince of Saiyans. He is a Saiyan warrior that is not just a mindless ape, as Frieza would probably say, right? Vegeta's very, very smart, one of the smartest, obviously, in the show. All these are great attributes that contribute to a god of destruction that we sees in Vegeta clearly above any other character and any other Saiyan in the show by far, because there is no other Saiyan in Dragon Ball right now that's close to Vegeta mentally. I would say his son Trunks, ironically, would actually be a closer and potentially better candidate long term than even Son Goku and maybe some others, because Trunks has shown time and time again he will do what's necessary to get the job done, and that is the role of a destroyer and a god of destruction in Dragon Ball. It's to do whatever the mission requires to get the job done and to not abuse your power. We saw what happened with that with Lord Beerus after, what was it, the Saki? I can't remember. Or Wasabi, I cannot remember, but something, and yeah, Whis put him out, right? Really quick, because that was taboos. Like, you're not supposed to be taking your anger out on these small, innocent worlds. There's harsh judgment as well. There's steel that's required, nerds of steel, so to speak, in order to fulfill this job as a god of destruction. Again, Vegeta, a perfect candidate for that. We have seen that in his character since he's been introduced into Dragon Ball in the very beginning. That destroyer energy is obviously fueled by the instinct and not just pure calm. It's that perfect balanced nature that I think Vegeta possesses. And since he's obviously tapped into Ultra Ego, he's unlocked this thing. He's learned from Beerus. Beerus has been was sharing, I should say, the secrets of how to really tap into that transformation. Because this is how I look at it. I think if you actually look at this breakdown into a little bit more detail, we're going deeper down the rabbit hole here, but this is how it really works out. I think subtly Whis is training both Goku and Vegeta, obviously, but there are some things that I think he's sharing with Goku that has allowed Goku to have a little bit of an edge based off of Goku's nature, his fighting style, right? He also gives Vegeta the same hints in a different way. Let go some of that ego, let some of the pressure down in the moments where you don't carry that chip on your shoulder. And then when it's time to tap back into that Saiyan pride, that's where you get Ultra Ego. That's where Beerus and his subtle, very, very subtle mentorship. Beerus likes to act like he's not helping to train Goku or Vegeta. He totally is, because we're definitely going to get another rematch of those fights, and I cannot wait for them to happen. Toei, Shueisha, whomever, they're going to do it. It's a money pot. It's a great way to bring everybody back into Dragon Ball. It's going to happen. I'm calling it now. I don't know when. But again, Beerus, I think, is also subtly training the Prince of Saiyan as well, hence why Vegeta was able to unlock Ultra Ego. So again, we sees all of these attributes, a lot of what's already reminiscent in his current destroyer that he has to serve, which is Lord Beerus. He sees a lot of those same qualities in Vegeta. And I don't know what happens to a god of destruction when they decide they don't want to be a destroyer. We see in Universe 11 with Top and Belmod. I guess once you get to a certain point, you go through this ritual, you pass the test. I guess after so many millions of years, right? Gods of Destruction can essentially retire and I guess live life, you know, normally for the next million years or whatever. And then you have a new, younger God of Destruction ready to take, you know, the mantle for the next couple of million years. Really insane to think about in hindsight, but I think that is how it works. So Vegeta, obviously, Vegeta is what I think in human terms, and is him and Goku and Dragon Ball Super. I can't remember if they're in their late 40s. The same with Broly. I think that's what I remember from the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie. But with the time skip, they might be in their 50s now. Correct me if I'm wrong. The point being is 50. Okay, guys, like the Saiyans are not 100 years old, and they're as strong as they're close to being at a destroyer level in their own right. And the destroyers have existed, from our understanding, for millions of years and have held that title and that position and that throne for millions of years, right? So you have to consider that, yeah, if you're an angel and you're an observer, are you telling me you're not looking at a Saiyan like Vegeta and saying, whoa, this mortal is surpassing limits the gods can't even achieve, and he's doing this in a matter of months, barely years, right? What good could that do for the universe? Remember, the angels want balance, moderation, the Kais, but they want good balance. They don't want senseless destruction and chaos. Characters like Vegeta, warriors like Vegeta, mortals like Vegeta, extremely important in the longevity of a several million year time span. Granted, I don't know how long Saiyans can live. That's why it's a little interesting to see, okay, what's the specific role Vegeta serves beyond just being a perfect candidate for it? Because from my understanding, unless that Hakai energy just kind of gives you what, the tree of life, or now you've extended your life to a million. We don't know. I don't know. This hasn't been confirmed. So maybe this is something I'll do a deeper dive on and maybe see if I can get some context. But let me know, guys. This is a lot of stuff that, for one, is relevant. Two, has happened. Okay, this is not me making stuff up. Watch what's happened. Read the manga. Watch the anime. Listen to the context clues. Look at the writer's notes. They're giving you the answers of what these things mean in deeper context, and that is my role, and that is my personal fun being a Dragon Ball enthusiast, fan, obviously number one, and a content creator, is taking that deeper dive into what's not just on the surface, but what's deeper beneath. That's really the gold of what Dragon Ball is. I think people get lost in the surface stuff too often, and then they use that to tank or to cloud or to saturate or to water out what they think has been a bad product. And I'm like, no, there's been things none of us have liked and things that didn't make sense of a retcon. But Dragon Ball is always giving you nuggets and clues of deeper teachings and deeper meanings if you're paying attention. Just my cup of tea here for today. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed. Make sure to, again, subscribe here, Kyle Ken Striker, for weekly Dragon Ball deep dive discussion content. If you guys want me to talk about anything, feel free to let me know that in the comment section below. I'll go ahead and shout you out for free, bro. It's on the house. It's always on the house. Just let me know, and I'll get it done within a couple of weeks. But usually my turnaround is about 2 weeks if you drop a comment for a video topic or something you want me to discuss. So appreciate you guys. Stay tough, stay strong, stay in the fight. I'm there with you all the way, brother. Have a good one. Later.